Hi everyone. As you know, if you've watched some of my other videos, I like to do stuff that I can make at home because I'm a pretty cheap person at heart and I don't like to have to pay for something if I can make something that's as good or better at home. So today what I would like to do is show you a fire starter or fire starting tinder idea that I ran into when I was surfing across the web. So it's not my original idea, as with many things, but I thought I would try to repeat what I saw on the internet and show that to you here so that you can decide whether or not you like it and you think it's a good idea. So what I'm going to start out with is I went to the local Walgreens and I picked up an item that they call textured cotton rounds. Women use them for removing and adding makeup. They're about 1.5 inches across and thick and very absorbent. These by themselves would make a really nice fire starter, but they're going to burn up fairly quickly. If I light one, you can see it catches pretty quickly, but it's going to burn out fairly fast too. So in order to deal with that, throw that in the sink so I don't burn the house down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some just generic wax. My wife does a lot of crafts and things like that, so she has shaved wax around. You could also do this on the stove with candles or other kinds of wax, but this is a really good way to do it. I'm going to take a tongs, and then the thing that makes this a lot easier for me is my wife has a wax melter for her crafts, and that's what I'm going to use to melt the wax. The thing that you have to be a little bit careful of when you're melting wax on the stove is that if the wax boils over or you spill it, you could potentially have a fire. This is a much safer way. It's just a heating plate in the bottom of this cup. So now I'm going to take my 2 ounces of wax and pour it in here, and very quickly this is going to melt into a liquid wax. And then what I'm going to do is, you can see here in the bottom, that's what the wax looks like as it's melting. I think I'm going to move this up just a little bit so you can see inside what's going on here. It's going to take probably a minute or two for the wax to completely melt, but if you can get your hands on this flaked wax, it is much superior to trying to do this with candles because it melts very quickly, and I don't need to worry about fires because you can control the temperature of the hot plate that's inside here. Now it's been a minute or two and I've got some wax that's moving around the bottom here. Now all I'm going to do is take these pads and drop them in and let them absorb the wax. Let them completely coat and absorb the wax. Only takes a second or two. Now I'm going to take that pad out, and you see this is completely saturated with wax, and that's going to make it burn for a much longer time. Then I take a cooling rack and I just put the rounds onto the cooling rack. So now grab a handful of my pads and I just drop them in, let them saturate, pull them out, and then I'm going to set them on the drying rack like that. Now these are really great. They do dry, or when they cool into a hard disk. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a hard disk that when you want to light it, you basically just tear it slightly like this, and then take your lighter and get an edge going. And then once that edge is going, I've run a timer, and these a whole pad will burn for up to 8 or 9 minutes. Now this one is sizzling and popping a little bit because this pad was sitting out in the rain the entire night. So I'm going to blow that out. But it sat out in the rain all night long, so it's completely waterproof. And again, the only downside when you fully coat them with wax is that they can be a little bit difficult to get enough fluff. You can light it with a lighter pretty simply, but if you're trying to light it with a ferrocerium rod or something, that can be a little bit more problematic. So another way that you can do this is you take the pad itself and you only coat about half of the pad with wax. When that hardens, that's going to give me half of the pad that I can fluff and I can use to catch a spark as opposed to actually having to use a lighter on it. So this is another option if you think that they're too difficult to light when you fully soak them with wax. You can just do half of it. Problem is that half that is not fully soaked is not going to be waterproof. I have one here where I left the edge loose. I did not soak that edge with wax. And again, you can shred these up slightly. And if you have the part that isn't coated with wax, it will tend to catch a lot more easily. And then that will get the rest of it burning. But another option. So that is how you can make your own do-it-yourself tinder pads. They work real well. They're very, very cheap. I think the bag of these 100 cotton rounds that I bought was about $2.50. The wax you can get from just old candle stubs, and that would essentially be free. Don't burn your house down when you do this. I don't want to hear anyone posting comments under my video that, oh great, you showed me how to do this great thing and then I burned down my house and now I have a family, I haven't got anywhere to live, can we live with you? Because no, you can't come and live with me. This is your warning. If you're not 18, get your parents' permission to do this. If you're over 18 and you're dumb, get your parents' permission. Make sure you don't burn your house down. Be careful with the hot molten wax. That's really all I've got for today, just a warning. But this is a real neat little thing. Thought I'd do a real quick video, show you how to make these. You store them in a baggie. They weigh a fraction of an ounce for each one of them. You don't even really need a whole one in order to be able to get a fire going. Half of one is plenty. So you can throw them in your pack. They're super light, they're very easy to make, and they are very, very waterproof, as you can see by the one that I lit a little bit earlier that had been in the rain all night. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please like the video and be sure to tell your friends about my video and subscribe to my channel. Aside from that, as always, be careful, be safe, and hey, take your kids camping. Have a great day, everybody. And don't burn your house down.